Hello, hello. Hello, hello. कुछ बताया तो समझ आ गया, वो स्मृति बताया तो सही। हम्म। Good morning, everyone. The dignitaries are on their way. I request everybody to keep your phones on silent mode. Hmm? The dignitaries have arrived. I request everyone to please rise to welcome them. चला देना।
एहसास न्याय का सबके लिए, आकाश न्याय का सबके लिए, उल्लास न्याय का सबके लिए, विश्वास न्याय का सबके लिए। अपने इस हिंदोस्तां पर हक हमारा भी तो है, इंसाफ के इस आशिया पर हक हमारा भी तो है। एक मुट्ठी आसमां पर हक हमारा भी तो है, एक मुट्ठी आसमां पर हक हमारा भी तो है।
ये ना सोचो दर्द हमारा कहीं सुना न जाएगा, अब न्यायालय खुद चलकर चौपालों तक आएगा।
लाचारों को न्याय मिलेगा, दुखियारों को न्याय मिलेगा, कमजोरों को न्याय मिलेगा, मजलूमों को न्याय मिलेगा। अपने इस हिंदुस्तान पर हक हमारा भी तो है, उम्मीदों के इस गुलसितां पर हक हमारा भी तो है। एक मुट्ठी आसमां पर हक हमारा भी तो है, एक मुट्ठी आसमां पर हक हमारा भी तो है।
गरीब और कमजोरों को मुफ्त एवं सक्षम कानूनी सहायता के लिए प्रतिबद्ध विधिक सेवा प्राधिकरण नालसा, न्याय सबके लिए।
Good morning, everyone. We are deeply honored to extend a very warm welcome to Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan Ram Krishna Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice Surya Kant, Judge Supreme Court of India and Chairman, Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Bindal, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Augustine George Massey, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Sheel Nagu, Chief Justice, High Court of Punjab and Haryana and Patron-in-Chief, State Legal Services Authorities, Punjab, Haryana and UT Chandigarh, Honorable Mr. Justice Tashi Rabastan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and Patron-in-Chief, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh Legal Services Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice Trilok Singh Chauhan, Acting Chief Justice, High Court of Himachal Pradesh and Executive Chairman, Himachal Pradesh State Legal Services Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice Gurmeet Singh Sandhawalia, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court and Executive Chairman, Punjab Legal Services Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice Arun Palli, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court and Executive Chairman, Haryana Legal Services Authority, Honorable Mrs. Justice Lisa Gill, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court and Executive Chairperson, Chandigarh Legal Services Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice Sureshwar Thakur, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court and Executive Chairman, High Court Legal Services Committee, Honorable Judges from High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, Honorable Judges from Himachal Pradesh High Court, Honorable Judges of the Punjab and Haryana High Court, other esteemed dignitaries from all walks of life, stakeholder, esteemed guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome all the esteemed dignitaries and the participants to the Regional Conference of State Legal Services Authorities for empowering the marginalized and a step towards social justice, achievements and roadmap, organized under the aegis of National Legal Services Authority, under whose guidance it is assured that legal services are accessible to all segments of society and endeavor is to provide justice at doorstep. To formally commence today's conference, I request our esteemed dignitaries to proceed for lighting of lamp and grace the dais. Candle. Let us seek the blessings of Goddess Saraswati. May her divine grace fill our hearts with purity, our minds with wisdom, and our souls with peace.
या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा। या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिः
As a symbol of our deep respect and appreciation, we wish to honor our distinguished guest with a token that signifies life, growth, and resilience. I humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice Sheel Nagu, Chief Justice, Punjab and Haryana High Court, and Patron-in-Chief, State Legal Services Authorities, Punjab, Haryana, and UT Chandigarh, to present a planter to Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan Ram Krishna Gavai, Judge, Supreme Court of India, and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority. Thank you, Lordship. I now request Honorable Mr. Justice Gurmeet Singh Sandhawalia, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court, and Executive Chairman, Punjab Legal Services Authority, to present a planter to Honorable Mr. Justice Surya Kant, Judge, Supreme Court of India, and Chairman, Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. I request Honorable Mr. Justice Arun Palli, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court, and Executive Chairman, Haryana Legal Services Authority, to present a planter to Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Bindal, Judge, Supreme Court of India. I request Honorable Mrs. Justice Lisa Gill, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court, and Executive Chairperson, Chandigarh Legal Services Authority, to present a planter to Honorable Mr. Justice Augustine George Massey, Judge, Supreme Court of India. I request Honorable Mr. Justice Sureshwar Thakur, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court, and Executive Chairman, High Court Legal Services Committee, to present a planter to Honorable Mr. Justice Tashi Rabastan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and Patron-in-Chief, Jammu and Kashmir Legal Services Authority. I request Honorable Mr. Justice Sudhir Singh, Judge Punjab and Haryana High Court and President Board of Governors, Chandigarh Judicial Academy, to present a planter to Honorable Mr. Justice Trilok Singh Chauhan, Acting Chief Justice, High Court of Himachal Pradesh and Executive Chairman, Himachal Pradesh State Legal Services Authority. To set the tone for this conference, it is my privilege to invite Honorable Mr. Justice Sheel Nagu, Chief Justice, Punjab and Haryana High Court and Patron-in-Chief, State Legal Services Authorities, Punjab, Haryana and UT Chandigarh. Lordship's calm and gentle approach with a firm sense of purpose makes everyone feel valued and respected. I humbly request His Lordship to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Namaskar and a very good morning to one and all. Welcome to Chandigarh. Honorable Mr. Justice B.R. Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman NALSA. Honorable Mr. Justice Surya, Judge Supreme Court of India, Chairman Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Bindal, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Mr. Justice A.G. Masih, Judge Supreme Court of India. Chief Justices of High Court, Executive Chairman of Legal Service Authorities, Chairman of High Court Legal Service Committees, my esteemed colleagues on the bench, officers of the State of Himachal Pradesh, Union Territory Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, State of Punjab, Haryana and UT Chandigarh, members of legal profession, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Legal Services Authorities of Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh, I welcome the dignitaries on and off the dais in this regional conference of legal service authorities of the 3 states and 3 union territories. Today, as we gather in the presence of eminent legal luminaries and dedicated professionals, we are reminded of the shared mission that binds us all, and that is access to justice for all. The legal service authorities play a pivotal role in bridging the gap between law and the people it serves. Authorities work tirelessly to promote legal literacy, provide free legal aid and extend the reach of justice to the most marginalized sections of society. The task before us is not simply to reflect on our past accomplishments, but to chart a way forward to evolve and adapt to the changing needs of society and the justice system. In our endeavors to achieve these objectives, we in Punjab and Haryana and Chandigarh have initiated various campaigns aimed at reaching out to more and more legal aid seekers. The foremost being prison reforms. Efforts were focused on supporting prison inmates by ensuring their representation in the courts. Although NALSA's SOP targeted towards prison reforms provides a foundational framework, but additional grassroots efforts are essential. To bridge this gap, legal services authorities have implemented an enhanced SOP to address these challenges, namely strengthening of legal aid delivery mechanism in prisons, which has supplemented NALSA's SOP. The robust mechanism has been evolved through this SOP, which ensures that each and every inmate is informed as to their right to free and quality legal aid. I am extremely happy to announce that as a result, in jails of Punjab, Haryana and Union Territory of Chandigarh, not even a single inmate remains unrepresented before the courts. In the year 22-23, there were nearly 33,000 inmates who had availed legal aid services through jail, and this number has risen to now nearly 38,000 in 23-24. Through this SOP, not only the issue of providing quality legal aid is ensured, the legal services authorities have expanded the horizon of its focus on broader issues like curbing drug menace in jail, which has become a serious cause of concern in prisons. Additionally, psychiatrists and counselors have been deployed to provide necessary support and rehabilitation for prisoners. Emphasis has even been laid on the well-being of children of female inmates. Another cause of concern as regards jail is overcrowding in jails. Unfortunately, despite the order of release on bail, due to financial constraints, prisoner is incapacitated and is forced to remain incarcerated. Many are unable to furnish the requisite bail bonds, leaving them in a paradox where freedom is within reach yet so far. Under the able guidance of NALSA, significant efforts have been made to address and mitigate this issue of jail congestion, which is evident from sharp increase in percentage of release of prisoners from 34% in 23 to as high as 63% in 24. State legal service authorities of Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh have been successful in streamlining the identification of cases, bolster the effectiveness of committees, and making all-out efforts to alleviate the problem of overcrowding. In the past 2 years, after recommendations of Under Trial Review Committee, a little more than 11,000 inmates were released. Realizing that district legal services authorities alone cannot accomplish this mission, need was felt to enhance the strength of our foot soldiers called Adhikar Mitra, as without their support, we will be unable to achieve our goal of providing accessible justice for all. Collaborating efforts of all the stakeholders is sine qua non for accomplishing our mission. Paralegal volunteers are true soldiers of our mission who are working tirelessly at grassroots level. Without the robust network of PLVs, our capacity to fulfill our mission of accessible justice can never be achieved. Therefore, district legal service authorities have been directed to empanel more paralegal volunteers. At present, there are nearly 2,500 paralegal volunteers working tirelessly at the ground level in the state of Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh UT. Children hold the key to our future, so the need was felt to equip them with legal rights and values early on. We can help build a generation that is aware, responsible and capable of advocating for justice. Under the campaign of Aksham Se Saksham, student brigade of 5 students were created in certain districts in high school and senior secondary school level. Children were empowered to voice the concerns when they observe any act of injustice affecting others within their school and their communities. Legal aid literacy clubs were opened in these schools. At present, there are 9,200 odd legal literacy clubs functioning in state of Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Apart from this, we consistently strive to transform our mission into reality guided by the mission that unites us. In line with technological advancements, we would be unveiling today facility to deposit costs through QR code and online portal for accounts. Legal services authorities are also working in victim care and support system as well as redressal of online cyber fraud grievances. As we move forward, we have not forgotten that justice is not just about law, but it is about people, real lives affected by systemic barriers and institutional shortcomings. It is about restoring dignity, ensuring equality, and safeguarding the rule of law. I urge each one of you to reflect on our responsibilities to innovate in the delivery of legal services and to work relentlessly towards the goal of a truly accessible and equitable justice system. Let us take bold steps towards a future where justice is not a distant dream but a reachable reality for all. Legal literacy is the key that unlocks the doors of justice for all. In a just society, law should be a shield for the weak, not a weapon for the strong. I will conclude by stating a quote from Manusmriti, chapter 8, verse 18. Dharmasya tatvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yen gatah spantha, which means the essence of justice lies in righteousness and fairness as shown by those who walk the path of truth. On behalf of the legal service authorities of Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh, I thank you all for accepting our invitation and participating in this conference.
Thank you, Lordship. We feel privileged to welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Trilok Singh Chauhan, Acting Chief Justice, High Court of Himachal Pradesh and Executive Chairman, Himachal Pradesh State Legal Services Authorities. Lordship is known for his significant contribution to judiciary both at the state and national level. His Lordship, while heading the Juvenile Justice Committee, Himachal Pradesh High Court has spearheaded campaign for welfare and interest of children of Bal Ashram, Hospital for Mental Health, etc. Computerization in the High Court as well as in the subordinate courts scaled new heights under His Lordship's guidance. We are thankful for your presence today. I now request Lordship to deliver his address.
Good morning, Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan R. Gavai, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority. Honorable Mr. Justice Surya, Kant, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Chairman of Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. Honorable Mr. Justice Rajiv Bindal, Honorable Mr. Justice Augustine Massey, Judges, Supreme Court of India. Honorable Chairman of the State Legal Services Authority, Chairmen of the various High Court Legal Services Committees, my esteemed and distinguished sister and brother judges, press and media, ladies and gentlemen. Every state has an obligation to ensure that no citizen is denied access to justice due to economic and other disabilities. And in order to achieve this constitutional mandate, the Himachal Pradesh State Legal Services Authority, since its inception, has been steadfast in its mission to spread legal awareness and provide legal services, particularly amongst the marginalized and intersectional communities in rural areas, slums and labor colonies. Our aim is to educate individuals about their rights, entitlements and benefits under various social welfare legislations and government programs, and also to enable them to enforce the same. I present a brief overview of the legal service activities and initiatives undertaken by the Himachal Pradesh State Legal Services Authority over the past year, along with a roadmap for the future. Legal awareness, its initiatives and programs. A commitment to spread legal awareness is a foundational step in empowering vulnerable sections of society. The HP Legal Services Authority conducted a series of outreach programs which received wide audience and introduced the participants to various aspects of legal services available under the law. We marked an observed day of importance throughout the state, engaging thousands of citizens in discussions on issues of public importance. 419 legal awareness programs were organized. A weekly radio program, Kanun Ki Baat, airs on All India Radio, where judicial officers discuss legal topics and share insights on legal rights and services. 44 such talks have been held so far. We set up exhibition stalls during all major fairs, both local and international, where district legal services authorities provide free legal advice, information on citizens' rights and distributes IC material. 4,656 persons visited such stalls during the year to avail legal advice and assistance. Enforcement of prisoners' right. Our legal services also focus on prison inmates who form a marginalized community of their own, often unaware of their rights and unable to secure bail. During the year, 3 quarterly under-trial review meetings have already been organized in the state by all the district legal services authorities as per the schedule of NALSA. And in the first 2 quarterly meetings, 102 under-trial prisoners were recommended by the under-trial review committees and 56 under-trial prisoners were released on bail in accordance with the NALSA standard operating procedure. In addition to this, all district legal services authorities organized under-trial review committee meetings on weekly basis. In collaboration with the Prison and Health Department, we organized 38 special mental health camps in jails across the state, benefiting 3,955 inmates. Post-release rehabilitation is a priority. 2 capacity building programs were organized in various jails in coordination with the Prison and Agriculture Department to help inmates reintegrate into society. 60 inmates were imparted skills on vegetable and nursery production and agriculture pursuits. I conducted unannounced visits to open-air jails Bilaspur and Model Central Jail Kanda to inspect whether inmates' rights are being complied with by the authorities concerned. Legal aid and legal services. To address the issue of financial obstacles that prevent under-trial prisoners from accessing speedy trial, Legal Aid Defense Council system has been established in each district, which handled around 1,700 cases at the session and magistratal levels since its inception. As per the mandate of the Legal Services Authorities Act to provide free legal services to specialized categories of citizens this year, we provided free legal assistance to many individuals, ensuring that legal aid is not denied to anyone in need. This includes 451 persons belonging to the scheduled castes, 67 to the scheduled tribes, 2,723 women, and 558 in custody. Legal services to the targeted groups. We recognize the need for special legal services for vulnerable groups such as children, senior citizens, and differently abled. During the summer vacations, I conducted unannounced visits to children homes in district Bilaspur, Mandi, Kangra, and Chamba. To protect the children from exploitation, legal services institutions of the state have conducted 77 visits, inspections and awareness camps in children homes, observation homes, places of safety, interacting both with children and staff to ensure adherence to the Juvenile Justice Act. Efforts were made in old age homes to inform senior citizens about NALSA schemes for their welfare, ensuring that they understand their rights and protection. 36 such camps were organized as per NALSA scheme 2016, and 1,447 inmates of the old age home attended such programs. Legal awareness camps were organized specifically for transgender community and for persons with disabilities. In these camps, participants received guidance on the NALSA scheme that pertained to them, including those mentally ill and differently abled. Of late, Himachal Pradesh is witnessing catastrophic rainfalls, flash floods, and landslides during monsoons, leading to loss of life and property. Such type of situation requires immediate response on the part of the legal services providers so that victims of natural calamity get relief. We dispatched paralegal volunteers to affected areas in District Kullu and Kangra to provide support to the victims of disaster in collaboration with the district administration. Third generation rights. In today's dynamic world, our approach to justice also encompasses awareness about third generation rights, which include environmental protection and harmonious access to resources. During tourist season, places like Kullu, Manali, Shimla, Kufri, Dalhousie face problems of solid waste and accumulation of garbage. Legal services institutions, in collaboration with the municipal bodies, panchayats, NGOs, and Pollution Control Board of the state, launched a campaign, namely Hamara Paryavaran, Hamari Zimmewari, in the month of June 24. It identified 125 garbage hotspots at various tourist places across the state. 10.24 tons of solid waste was collected and scientifically disposed of. To promote environment, a plantation drive was initiated during the rainy season in collaboration with the forest and education departments. 5,319 saplings of trees were planted during this campaign. Creation of a WhatsApp group. The HP State Legal Services Authority has created a WhatsApp group of all the secretaries of the District Legal Services Authority, and through this WhatsApp group, day-to-day activities carried out and achievements made by the secretaries are reported to the member secretary, and for further action, if any required, directions are imparted for immediate implementation. The future plan of action. We intend to conduct following activities, programs in the coming days. Periodical mental health assessment of jail inmates. Emphasis would be laid on capacity building programs of jail inmates to ensure the integration and rehabilitation. Public defense system would be strengthened and capacity building programs for legal aid and defense councils would be arranged by the HP Judicial Academy. More legal awareness programs will be organized for marginalized and intersectional groups. The focus will be on the homeless persons and persons addicted to drugs. Paralegal volunteers are the grassroots workers and the backbone of the legal services institutions. As such, the HP State Legal Services Authority has planned to organize training programs for paralegal volunteers as per modules of NALSA with the help of experts in the field. The HP State Legal Services Authority has scheduled a special drive for monitoring and redressal of issues of under trials, namely matters pertaining to appeals of convicts, screening of potential juveniles, bail bonds of UTPs, plea bargaining, parole, furlough, remission, and premature release. The Himachal Pradesh Legal Services Authority intends to carry forward the digitalization process of records of legal services institutions, particularly the State Legal Services Authority and District Legal Services Authority. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you, Lordship. We are honored to welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Tashi Rabastan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and Patron-in-Chief, Jammu and Kashmir Legal Services Authority. Lordship is known for his instrumental role in efficient functioning of judicial system, while also upholding the principles of justice, fairness, and constitutional governance. His Lordship's efforts have been pivotal in promoting awareness about legal rights, and his tenure marked significant milestone in ensuring that justice reaches out to all sections of society. We welcome you once again to the conference. I now request His Lordship to address the gathering.
A very good morning to all the esteemed guests, distinguished dignitaries, colleagues and participants present today. Honorable Mr. Justice B.R. Gawai, Judge Supreme Court of India, Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority. Honorable Justice Surya, Judge Supreme Court of India and Chairperson Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. Honorable Justice Rajesh Bindal, Honorable Justice Augustine George Masia, Judge Supreme Court of India. Brother Justice Sheel Nagu, Chief Justice High Court of Punjab and Haryana High Court. Brother Justice Trilok Singh Chauhan, Chief Justice Acting High Court of Himachal Pradesh. Esteemed Executive Chairpersons of the SALSAs, esteemed Chairperson of the High Court Legal Service Committee, brother and sisters, judges from the participating High Courts, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to speak today about one of the most pressing issues of our time, that is empowering the marginalized and moving towards social justice. In this conference organized by the Legal Services Authority of Punjab, Haryana and UT Chandigarh, I congratulate the organizers for convening this event. Social justice is the vision of the society where everyone, regardless of the background, identity or circumstances, is treated with dignity, respect and fairness. It is a world in which opportunities are accessible to all, where discrimination and exclusions are eliminated and where every individual can live his life with autonomy, freedom and equality. As we stand here today, we know that this vision remains distinct for many across the globe, and even within our own communities, there are countless individuals who face systematic barriers simply because of their gender, race, economic status, disability, sexual orientations, or other forms of marginalization. These barriers, though invisible to some, are very real to those who live them every day. Empowering is not simply about providing opportunities, it is about creating a society where people are given the tools, resources and supports they need to thrive. It is about establishing an environment where equality is ensured to individuals. The journey towards justice for marginalized has a long history, deeply rooted in the every foundations of our nation and its democratic ethos. From the drafting of the Constitution itself, our founder placed immense importance on the right to equality, liberty and justice for all. Article 39A of the Constitution embodies this constitutional promise by providing free and competent legal aid to the underprivileged, ensuring that no citizen is denied access to justice due to financial or social disadvantages. Since then, legal aid and access to justice have been more than obligations, they are instruments of social change. The legal services authorities, both at the national and state levels, have worked tirelessly to break down barriers and bridge the gap that often prevent the most vulnerable among us from exercising their fundamental rights. Judges and legal aid providers play a unique role in realizing social justice. As members of the judiciary, we are entrusted with safeguarding the Constitution, but we are also tasked with embodying compassion, equity and a deep commitment to the principle of justice. Like other state legal services authority, the Jammu and Kashmir Ladakh legal services authorities have also made remarkable strides in providing free and accessible legal services to individuals and communities. Over the past year, the authorities have not only met their mandate but have also continuously evolved, reflecting the increasing needs and unique challenges. unique challenges of all the three regions of the two Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Key programs and initiatives such as Lok Adalat, legal literacy drives, and community outreach aim at reaching individuals even in the most remote and unserved areas. It is reminded that our work in the legal field extends beyond resolving disputes. It is about providing dignity, stability, and hope to all who seek justice. One of the most vital and sacrosanct rights we uphold is right to life and personal liberty under Article 21. This right is not just a legal provision but a moral imperative that governs how we as a society treat our fellow citizens, especially those most vulnerable. When individuals are deprived of their freedom, whether as under trials or convicted prisons, their rights do not cease. The failure to ensure their rights to a fair trial, their right to legal representations, and their right to just process amounts to a violation of their fundamental rights. While being executive chairman of the J&K Legal Services Authority, I personally visited all the 14 jails across Jammu and Kashmir and the various prison legal aid clinics that are set up to provide legal support to inmates. These visits were not just procedural, they were an earnest attempt to understand the issues at ground level, interact with inmates, and identify why certain individuals continue to remain incarcerated for prolonged periods. Despite not having been convicted, these are not mere figures, they are lives, families, and futures at stake. It brings me great comfort to report that despite the challenges we face, there is a widespread commitment to the ensuring that no one, regardless of their socio-economic status, is left without legal representation. During my visits, I found that every under trial and every prison I spoke to and had been represented before the court of law, either by a private lawyer, legal aid lawyers, or in recent years, the legal aid defense counsels. This is a testament to the tireless efforts of our legal services authorities in providing access to justice to all, regardless of their social or financial background. However, it is important to note that despite these positive outcomes, the judicial process in Jammu and Kashmir, like in many parts of the country, faces its own set of challenges, which can be delay the delivery of the justice. One such challenge is complexity of dealing with foreign nationals who may be caught up in the legal tangles that are compounded by the bureaucratic hurdles and language barriers. The right to life and liberty is not a mere legal obstruction. It is essential to well-being of every citizen, including those incarcerated. A prisoner's right to a dignified life, to health care, and to safe and healthy environment remains an obligation of the state even while they are incarcerated. The J&K Legal Services Authority has implemented several proactive measures aimed at improving the conditions of inmates and addressing their health and legal needs. We have organized mega medical camp and awareness camps within the jails to ensure that inmates receive essential medical care. It is constitutional duty of the state to guarantee that prisons, whether under trials or convict, are provided with adequate health care during their time in custody. Furthermore, we have conducted awareness program on mental health to address the mental stress that is often faced by the prisoners and even prison staffs. We have emphasized practice as such yoga to promote mental well-being, which can significantly improve the physical and emotional health of both inmates and those working within the prison systems. We have also addressed the need for dental care by organizing dental camp, aiming to provide essential dental treatment and raise awareness about the importance of oral hygiene. This is especially crucial in marginalized communities where such basic healthcare needs are often neglected. Our regular inspection of the prison facilities led by chairpersons and the secretary of the District Legal Services Authority have been focused on improving basic living conditions within the prisons. This includes assessing the quality of washrooms, ensuring the provisions of clean drinking water, identifying areas that need immediate attention from the state government. In these inspections, we have also interacted with prisons to hear their concerns, ensuring that their living conditions are humane and conducive to rehabilitation. A cornerstone of our efforts has been the expansion of legal aid clinics across the Union Territories. In 2024, we successfully have opened 5 new legal aid clinics, including those that had been closed during the COVID-19 pandemic. These clinics play a pivotal role in providing free legal assistance to marginalized communities who may not have the financial means to access private legal counsel. In addition, we have inaugurated legal literacy clubs across various educational institutions, including IIM Jammu, provides and other government schools. The aim is to foster legal awareness among the youth and empower them with knowledge of their rights and responsibilities. This year, we inaugurated a legal literacy club in a 100-year-old higher secondary school. These initiatives are crucial in creating an informed citizenry and that understanding its legal rights and duties. In the year 2024, 3 training programs were organized for legal aid defense counsels, focusing on new criminal laws, the role of LADCs at critical stages such as pre-arrest, arrest and remand, and the importance of ethical advocacy and legal research. These training programs are integral to equipping LADCs with the knowledge and skills needed to represent under trials and prisons effectively. Our commitment to serving the marginalized extend beyond prison walls. In addition to visiting jails, we have also conducted visits to homes for mentally challenged persons and homes for girls in Jammu and Srinagar, such as Parisha and Fulwari. These visits have been aimed at evaluating the living conditions and ensuring that these vulnerable individuals are not left behind in the justice system. We also visited the SOS Children's Village, where we interacted with the children, listening to their concerns and reassured them of the continuous support from the legal services institutions. These visits are a part of our larger commitment to ensure that those who are marginalized, be it by age, mental health, or social status, are not deprived their rights and the opportunity to live with dignity. In 2023, 9,664 individuals benefited from our legal aid services, including 3,618 women and 797 individuals in custody. In 2024, by October, we have already provided legal assistance to 8,614 individuals, including 1,117 women and 971 persons in custody. Our penal lawyers continue to play a critical role in ensuring that those who cannot afford private counsels have access to competent legal representations. With 608 penal lawyers in Jammu and Kashmir, they have handled a wide range of cases from civil to revenue to criminal matters. In 2024 alone, 746 civil cases, 564 revenue matters, and 454 other cases have been dealt by our panel lawyers, ensuring that justice remains accessible to all irrespective of their financial conditions. Another notable effort is the use of media to broaden awareness. A talk show, namely Kanun or Insaf Ki Baat, is broadcasted on local Doordarshan channels to amplify our outreach efforts. These programs features Jalsa secretaries, LADCs and panel lawyers in discussion on laws related to the common man. This year, 30 programs have been broadcasted raising awareness on the legal rights. As we chart the way forward, the Legal Services Authority has ambitious plan that responds to the evolving needs of our society. For instance, the upcoming system for the impanelment of paralegal volunteers at police stations to assist in cases of missing children exemplifies a proactive approach to sensitive issues affecting vulnerable individuals. This initiative will positions paralegal volunteers as advocates for children in distress, underscoring our commitment to child welfare and protections. Additionally, our plan to establish legal aid clinics within hospitals will bridge a critical gap in support between medical staff and incarcerated individuals, ensuring that they and their families have access to the legal supports they need in times of crisis. This integration of legal aid with medical care represents a compassionate, modern approach to justice. In conclusions, empowering the marginalized is not just an act of charity, it is an essential step towards achieving social justice. It is a recognition that we are all interconnected, that the well-being of one affects the well-being of all. The road to social justice is not always easy, and the challenges we face may seem insurmountable at times, but through solidarity, advocacy, and the steadfast commitment to equality, we can create a world where every individual has the chance to thrive. I think each and every one of you here today who continue to work tirelessly in the pursuit of social justice, together may we continue to forge a path where justice is not privilege but a guaranteed rights accessible to every citizen in every corner of our nation. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Lordship. Healing begins when we take action to stand by those who are suffering. We have gathered here for a momentous occasion, and it is with great pride and responsibility that we have now moved forward to the release of the scheme of victim care and support system. The scheme aims to offer critical services and is dedicated to creating a compassionate environment for the victims. With this, I humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan Ram Krishna Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority, to release the victim care scheme and mark the beginning of this vital initiative. As part of efforts to combat the issue of drug abuse, legal services authorities, Punjab, Haryana, and UT Chandigarh have been working on creating awareness regarding the ill effects of drug abuse. In this process, a series of videos have been created which will be played at prominent public places with the aim to educate the masses and prevent this menace in our society. An amalgamation of the three videos will be launched today. I request Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan Ramakrishna Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman Nalsa to kindly launch the videos by pressing the button of the mouse placed before your Lordship.
ਲੱਗੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ, ਲੱਗੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ, ਇਹਦੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਉਤਾਰੋ, ਲੈ ਕੇ ਮਿਰਚਾਂ ਕੌੜੀਆਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਵਾਰੋ, ਵਾਰ ਕੇ ਅੱਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾੜੋ, ਲੱਗੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ, ਇਹਦੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਉਤਾਰੋ, ਮਿਰਚਾਂ ਜ਼ਹਿਰੋਂ ਕੌੜੀਆਂ, ਮਿਰਚਾਂ ਸਿਰ ਸੜੀਆਂ, ਕਿਧਰੋਂ ਲੈ ਨਾ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ, ਵਿਹੜੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੜੀਆਂ।
ਪੰਜਾਬ ਰਾਜ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਅਥਾਰਟੀ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੇ ਪਛੜੇ ਅਤੇ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰ ਵਰਗਾਂ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਫਤ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਸਹਾਇਤਾ ਪ੍ਰਦਾਨ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਮਾਜ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰ ਵਰਗ ਇਨਸਾਫ ਤੋਂ ਵਾਂਝਾ ਨਾ ਰਹਿ ਸਕੇ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਿੰਨੂ ਢਿੱਲੋਂ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਰਾਜ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਅਥਾਰਟੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਪੀੜਤ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਫਤ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਦੇਣ ਲਈ ਵਚਨਬੱਧ ਹੈ। ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਕਰਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਭੈਣ ਭਰਾ, ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ, ਮਾਤਾਵਾਂ, ਬੱਚੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਦੇ ਪੀੜ ਦੇ ਹੇਠ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਲੰਘ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਰਾਜ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਅਥਾਰਟੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਵਸੇਵੇ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਛਡਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਵੀ ਰੀਹੈਬ ਸੈਂਟਰਸ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਲਾਊਗੀ। ਵਚਨਬੱਧ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦੇਣਗੇ। ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਸੂਬਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਦਨਾਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਦੇ ਬਹਾਅ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਲੰਕ ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਧੋਈਏ, ਨਸ਼ਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਰਹੀਏ, ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਵੱਲ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਈਏ ਤੇ ਜਾਗਰੂਕ ਕਰੀਏ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੀ ਸਿਰਜਣਾ ਕਰੀਏ। ਸੋ ਦੋਸਤੋ, ਵਧੇਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਾਡਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈਗਾ 15100।
नशे पते का जोर सा हो रहा, घट गया दूध दही का खाना, लागी किसी हवा ओपरी जो बदल रहा म्हारा हरियाणा, रही जवानी भटक राहत है इनते मंजिल दिखानी होगी, मेहनत माटी जोश जुनू की रीत पुरानी ल्याणी होगी, वाहे रीत पुरानी ल्याणी होगी।
हरियाणा राज्य विधिक सेवा प्राधिकरण प्रदेश के पिछड़े, वंचित और गरीब व्यक्तियों को न्याय सबके लिए के वैधानिक प्रावधानों के तहत मुफ्त कानूनी सेवाएं उपलब्ध कराता है ताकि समाज के अंतिम छोर पर खड़ा व्यक्ति भी अपने कानूनी हक प्राप्त कर सके और इंसाफ पा सके।
आज मैं आप सभी को बताना चाहता हूँ कि जिस तरीके से हमारा यूथ, हमारी यंग जनरेशन नशे की तरफ जा रही है, तो प्लीज़ उसको छोड़ें, क्योंकि वो हमारी सोचने समझने की शक्ति को ख़राब करता है और हमारे डिसीजन लेने की शक्ति को भी दिक्कत करता है। तो मैं आप सभी से गुजारिश करता हूँ कि नशे पते को छोड़ के अपना जो टारगेट है, अपना जो ड्रीम है, उस पर काम करें और अपने अच्छे भविष्य का निर्माण करें।
दोस्तों, आजकल देखने को आ रहा है कि हमारा यूथ नशे की तरफ बढ़ गया है, जिससे ना जाने कितने परिवार ख़त्म हो गए हैं। इस नशे ने कितने ही माँ के बेटों को, कितने ही बहनों के भाइयों को परिवार से छीन लिया है। नशा एक अजगर की तरह है जो पूरे परिवार को निगल जाता है।
नशा एक को नहीं, पूरे देश को बर्बाद करता है। हमें इस नशे को छक्का मार के बाउंड्री से बाहर पहुंचाना है।
नशा करने से हमारे शरीर में अनेक जानलेवा रोग लग जाते हैं, जिनका अंत दर्दनाक मौत से होता है। इसलिए आप सबसे अनुरोध है कि नशे को त्याग कर एक स्वस्थ और खुशहाल जिंदगी का आनंद ले। जय हिंद, जय भारत साथियों।
मैं दीपा मलिक, पद्मश्री खेल रत्न अवार्डी, आज अपने देश के युवाओं से, अपने देशवासियों से नशा मुक्त रहने का एक अपील करती हूँ। तो एक खिलाड़ी की अपील सुनिए, सेहतमंद रहिए और खुश रहिए, नशा मुक्त रहिए।
स्कूल कॉलेज में पढ़ने वाले बच्चे नशे के चंगुल में फंसकर अपनी पढ़ाई से दूर हो जाते हैं और अपने भविष्य को बर्बाद कर लेते हैं। मेरी आपसे प्रार्थना है कि अपने बच्चों का ध्यान रखें और उन्हें नशे जैसी गलत आदत से दूर रखें। जय हिंद।
Youth is the everlasting flame of a nation's hope, but it flutters today in troubled winds as more than 1.5 crore children in India suffer from drug abuse. A shocking 13% of all drug addicts in our country are children. Partnering with the Narcotics Control Bureau Chandigarh Zone, they regularly undertake public awareness campaigns and lecture in educational institutions in the rural and urban localities of Chandigarh on the menace of substance abuse. Their app, Share and Salute Chandigarh, in which the NCB Chandigarh Zone is a participant, also provides free and prompt legal assistance regarding any drugs-related concern through its social complaints portal. It stands to protect our youth from substance abuse so that they may get that promised future where the mind is without fear and the head is held high.
The State Legal Services Authorities of Punjab, Haryana and UT Chandigarh have developed an app to simplify the payment process for litigants by introducing facility of depositing cost via QR code. This innovative system enables litigants to make payments on the spot, eliminating the need to visit District Legal Services Authority. We are also pleased to announce the launch of Accounts Portal, a unified online platform for efficient financial management. This significant step aims to provide real-time data on cost, expenditure, ensuring timely delivery of funds for all schemes, thus enhancing transparency. To help better understanding of the functioning of these apps, a video will be played. I humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan Ram Krishna Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman NALSA to kindly launch the videos by pressing the button of the mouse placed before your Lordship.
From delays to instant updates, State Legal Services Authorities of Punjab, Haryana and UT Chandigarh are introducing the new account management system. The existing procedure relies on manual submissions. Monthly hard copy reports with no real-time tracking of funds. To overcome these issues, a new and efficient online system is being launched which provides real-time tracking and daily updates to reduce errors.
We take immense pleasure in welcoming Honorable Mr. Justice Surya Kant, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Chairman, Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. Lordship has been a pillar of strength and source of inspiration for all of us. As we welcome His Lordship, I am reminded of the quote, "A true visionary doesn't just see the destination, they guide others along the journey, lighting the path to something greater than themselves." His Lordship truly embodies the spirit of this court. His vision and commitment to excellence has been a guiding light for us. Lordship brings a wealth of knowledge, and his journey is a powerful blend of expertise and passion for justice. We are thankful to you for gracing us with your presence today. Without further ado, I respectfully invite His Lordship to address the gathering.
Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan Ram Krishna Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India, Executive Chairman, National Legal Service Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Bindal, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Augustine George Massey, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Sheel Nagu, Chief Justice High Court of Punjab and Haryana, Honorable Mr. Justice Tashi Rabstan, Chief Justice High Court of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, Honorable Mr. Justice Tarlok Singh Chauhan, Acting Chief Justice Himachal Pradesh High Court, Executive Chairpersons of the State Legal Service Authorities and High Court Legal Service Committees, my esteemed colleagues from the High Courts of Punjab and Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, officers of the NALSA, Advocate General Punjab, Chairman Bar Council of Punjab and Haryana, senior advocates, officers of the Chandigarh Judicial Academy, the members of the district judiciary, especially those who are shouldering the responsibilities of member secretaries or secretary in the district legal service authority or the taluka legal service authorities, other judicial officers, officers of the civil and the police administration, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be with you on this historical event. I purposefully say that it's a historical event because after my elder brother, Mr. Justice Bhushan Ram Krishna Gavai has taken over as Executive Chairperson of the National Legal Service Authority, the first event and the first venue he chose is Punjab and Haryana and Union Territory of Chandigarh. I am personally thankful that he accepted our invitation and organized this event, which is extremely important, addressing very sensitive social issues of identifying the difficulties, disabilities and the issues where they have been left behind in our social norms, and therefore what should be the role of the legal service authorities towards the marginalized sections of society that include the specially abled persons, child victims, sex workers and their children, lost children and children awaiting adoption, children of labor class on construction sites. All these classes which have been identified by the National Legal Service Authority face acute challenge of violation of their human rights, civil rights and constitutional rights. Therefore, the role of the state legal service authorities, how to extend the helping hand and to see that we can be part of that team which eventually take the credit of restoring those rights to them can be asserted by the state legal service authorities also. Empowering of marginalized citizens and promotion of social justice is a committed responsibility given to the state legal service authorities, and I am confident under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan Ram Krishna Gavai, the National Legal Service Authority and the state legal service authorities will proudly achieve that goal and object. My dear friends, a civic society founded upon the principles of mutual existence, humanity, social norms and values, and which is also well knitted into the common fabric, must itself address the needs and rights of those who may otherwise be left behind. And that is what the concept of inclusive growth envisaged by our constitution makers. This broad categories includes many vulnerable groups such as the specially abled, child victims, women, socially and economically backward people, and many more. Within the context of our welfare society, this subject is at the core of our constitutional commitment to justice, equality, and dignity for all citizens, especially those who are particularly exposed and susceptible to exploitation. Here comes the roles of the legal service authorities. I would say, in terms of what the father of the nation Mahatma Gandhi said, the true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable members. These words, in fact, are the reminder that our commitment to justice must reach to the marginalized, the voiceless, and the vulnerable people. The legal service authorities, as we all know, have been entrusted the statutory responsibility to bridge the gap between the literal letters of welfare legislations and their net end beneficiaries. Such a task not only empowers the marginalized citizens, but is also meant to create a roadmap, meaningful and towards effective social justice. We live in a paradoxical society, paradoxical times, where abject poverty somehow coexists with excessive wealth, where heightened liberalism somehow survives alongside wild discrimination. In times such as these, institutions of legal service authorities therefore must constantly reinvent and reassert themselves to achieve their noble goals in facilitating access to justice to the marginalized sections of society. The responsibility of social engineering assigned to the legal service authorities should not be construed as a second limb of judicial powers. This I have been explaining since 2007 on different platforms, that many a times our officers, they start believing that as if it's a second part of the judicial duties, but that is not so. The role of the judiciary is quite distinct and different. The issue of a decree or a command for enforcement of a civil, human or fundamental right would forever remain an incomplete task if we do not bridge the gap between the legal system and those who need it most. The latter function is therefore performed by the legal service authorities, who play an intermediary between the people and the law. When we speak of holistic justice, we mean more adjudication, we mean the realization of rights, the restoration of dignity, and the empowerment of the individuals. When I was invited for this event, and when I saw the topics where the regional legal service authorities decided to deliberate upon. I thought that the topics are very wide, issues are very sensitive, and it may be unfair and unjust to try to speak on all the issues. I therefore decided that out of these, let me one subject where at least briefly I can share my views and ideas with all of you. And in that process, I chose that I will speak about the children in need of different helping the schemes or the implementation of those schemes or the helping hand of the legal service authorities. Therefore, I'm more referring to and talking in the context of the plight of the children today. You see, it's a fact that in India, we have created so many legislations toward the protection and promotion of the child rights, but the fact remains that a lot of things are required to be accomplished. We have been speaking about a plethora of at-risk groups today, but I would argue that there are none more vulnerable than our children across the country. It is an irrefutable fact that children have the least autonomy over their lives, and they are the most exposed to all forms of exploitation. I tried to find out some data and facts and figure. A 2024 report estimates that 24% of the Indian population are in the under 14 years bracket. In a way, our country has approximately 345 million children, the highest far across the globe. A third of our population is 1.44 billion is under 18 years, and according to UNICEF, every fifth Indian is between 10 to 19 years. Such staggering statistics, which are undoubtedly a cause of celebration, must not be allowed to become a cause of concern for all of us when we consider other worrying data relating to the protection of child rights in India. As you know, probably on a different occasion, this very platform I had said that after decades or so, India is bound to become the strongest country in terms of the human resource and human empowerment. That will be possible only because we have this maximum highest part of our population in the age group of 14 to 19 or below, even that, the children age group. So our children is our strength. They are the assets. They are the posterity. They are the strength of the nation. They are the only roadmap to take us on the global map. So it's extremely important that we identify those children in different walks of life and make sure that in terms of the schemes which we intend to implement, the responsibility that has been assigned to us, that must percolate for the benefit and for the welfare of those children. That is the main theme I thought I will share with you today. You see, you can have one example. I thought two issues I will recap because the state legal authorities are here, and then you will be able to, maybe that you will plan on it. See what the COVID pandemic 19 has done to our children. I am talking about the organized and unorganized, both sectors of the children. All of you know how the industries were shut down, the businesses were shut down, all services were also shut down, and all those people who were depending upon their day-to-day survival, how those families suffered. There are movies, there are documentary, there are video clips, there are news items. I need not to go into those things. And eventually what happened? In this all turmoil, the worst sufferers the children. Malnutrition, lack of education, lack of care, lack of medical, lack of anything. They sleeping on roads, sleeping on roof of buses, sleeping on the roadsides, on railway tracks. That was one predicament. So we have certain schemes. Of course, there are schemes for the unorganized sectors of the children of the laborers. But then when on sites itself the laborers were not left, the sites were suddenly emptied by them, how to identify them? In the country, it's not the legal service authority job, it's only the civil administration job. How to identify and have a track of those children? Where have they gone back? Which state they belonged? What kind of plight are they right now undergoing? What are their conditions of life today? What kind of education are they getting? Are they getting the food, bare food on 2 times? Are these issues are part of the civil administration normally? But legal service authorities, provided that this data is made available to them, can play yeoman service to look after those children. The other issue which I really concern about is, which is very, very close to it's a very serious human problem, is the cultural crisis of these children. One family is coming from West Bengal, coming on a construction site in Delhi. The other family is coming from Bihar, again working on the construction site. The other is coming from Tamil. Look at that child who is who learnt only a Bengali in speaking. Look at that child who only learns Tamil in speaking. Look at that child who only spoke Hindi in Bihar. These 3 children are working at the same, are to be looked after, to be taken care at the same site where their parents are working. That is the challenge before legal service authority. So therefore, we need to have a microscopic analysis of our scheme and a roadmap for their implementation. Maybe we can have an assessment of our schemes, that to what extent we have achieved. And for that, my humble appeal will be that we need not to sit upon and relax only on the basis of the data given to us. Let us see at the ground level. And that's why when I said that you are not playing the second limb of judicial role, what you are doing as officers, as members of the State Legal Service Authority, actually you are members of the NGO, a NGO which has been created by a statute, which is funded by the state, but for all intents and purposes, you are members of the NGO, and you have to volunteer yourself with that zeal and commitment to achieve these visionary schemes, which of course we have been forming in the past, and under the dynamic leadership of my elder brother, Mr. Justice Bhushan Gavai, we will continue to evolve so many other such schemes to serve the last man in the street. I am quite sure, but he will be able to achieve this vision only if his army is also equally committed. And I am quite sure that the North region who is assembled here, at least will come forward and play the lead role in this regard. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to me. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Lordship. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. We are honored to welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan Ram Krishna Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority. His Lordship's fierce dedication to social justice, compassion, and equality is known to all. His Lordship's contributions continue to shape the Indian legal landscape significantly. His Lordship's legal approach is marked by keen understanding of socio-economic realities that impact the people seeking justice. We are privileged by the presence of your Lordship on this occasion today. With utmost respect, I invite His Lordship to address the gathering.
My esteemed colleague, Honorable Justice Surya, the Chairman of the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, my esteemed colleagues, Honorable Justice Rajesh Vindal, Honorable Justice Augustine Masi, the Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court, Honorable Shri Shil Naguji, the Chief Justice of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, Honorable Tashir Abastanji, the Acting Chief Justice of the Himachal Pradesh High Court, Tarlok Singh Chauhanji, Honorable Justice Sandwalia, the Executive Chairman of the Punjab Salsa, Honorable Justice Arun Palli, the Executive Chairman of Haryana Salsa, Honorable Justice Lisa Gill, the Chairman of the Chandigarh Salsa, Honorable Justice Atul Sridharan, the Executive Chairman of Jammu and Kashmir Salsa, and Honorable Justice Sanjeev Kumar, the Executive Chairman of Ladakh Salsa, my all esteemed colleagues, brothers and sisters from Punjab and Haryana High Court, as well as Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal High Court, the Advocate General for State of Punjab, Gurpinder Singh Ji, the other honorable judges from the district judiciary and trial judiciary from the participating states, the members of and the office bearers of district legal services authorities as well as taluka legal services authorities, my colleagues from Nalsa, the members of the registry of the High Court of Punjab and Haryana, and dear friends. It gives me a great pleasure to be with you all this morning. As my brother and a friend for a long time, Justice Surya told you that this is my first event where I am participating as the Executive Chairman of the NALSA. As a matter of fact, Justice Surya and I have a long relationship. Both of us became the judges almost at the same time. I became a judge of the Bombay High Court in November 2003, and Justice Surya became a judge of Punjab and Haryana High Court in February 2005, almost 3 months, 2004. And we met for the first time in 2005, when Justice Surya and I had come to Delhi to attend the wedding of the then senior advocate Vinod Bobde, who was from our Nagpur, and Justice Surya had an opportunity to work with him in many important matters. And thereafter, for last almost 2 decades, our bond grew. Incidentally, we came to Delhi and joined the Supreme Court on the same day, and then we have been working together. We worked together with Justice Bobde on the bench for almost 6 months, and therefore when it was coming that I will be chairing NALSA and he will be chairing the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, he had decided that the first function should be in Chandigarh, and coincidentally that's how both of us are here today. It's a privilege to stand today to interact with you all at the Regional Conference on Empowering the Marginalized Citizens and a Step Towards Social Justice, Achievements Made and Roadmap Ahead. This theme is both timely and essential, urging us to reflect on the strides we have made in securing rights for the marginalized communities, while also challenging us to lay down a clear and actionable path for the future. Empowering marginalized citizens is not just a matter of legal or economic support. We must remember that the empowerment is achieved when individuals are not only uplifted but also equipped to advocate for themselves and participate in the social life of the nation. Under a constitutional framework, Article 39A places an obligation on the state to ensure that, and I quote, the operation of the legal system promotes justice on a basis of equal opportunity and shall in particular provide free legal aid by suitable legislation or schemes or in any other way to ensure that opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizens by reason of economic or other disabilities, unquote. The Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 was enacted to further a constitutional vision. The legal services authorities under the Act have a mandate to provide free legal aid to those in need, particularly to marginalized sections of society, including prisoners. Therefore, when Justice Sandwalia had given us subjects, we had divided the subjects between Justice Suryakantan and myself. I have chosen to speak on the rights of the prisoners. I would like to speak on the role of the legal services authorities in protecting prisoners' rights and care for their children and families. Prisoners in India face a diverse set of challenges. Their plight becomes concerning because 70% of the prisoners are under trials. They have not even been found guilty yet, but still they are languishing in the prisons. And this is many a times due to lack of legal access. From January 2024 to August 2024, legal services were provided to 1,84,749 persons in custody. As enlisted under Section 12G of the Legal Services Authorities Act 1987, this includes 1,035 in Chandigarh, 7,059 in Haryana, 539 in Himachal Pradesh, 971 in Jammu and Kashmir, and 21,093 in the state of Punjab. While these achievements are a positive indication of our commitment, ongoing and increased efforts will be essential to ensure timely and comprehensive legal support reaches every individual in the need in the country. The Supreme Court of India has recognized the rights of prisoners in a series of cases. The court has held that the right to live with dignity extends even to the incarcerated. In Sunil Batra, the court took serious note of the treatment meted out to the under trials, convicts, and those awaiting the death penalty. Authoring the judgment, Justice V.R. Krishna here emphasized the need to relook at the prison conditions. In Charles Sobraj versus Superintendent of Central Jail, this court upheld the fundamental rights of prisoners against the undue harshness of prison practices. The Supreme Court in Hussain Ara Khatun also emphasized that there is a duty of the state to ensure free legal aid. In Francis Corale Mullin, the court struck down a rule which regulated the right of a detainee to have interviews with a legal advisor of his choice as violative of Article 14 and 21. In Shabnam, the court elicited the principle that human dignity should be preserved, and even when a prisoner is sentenced to death. In Mohammad Hussain, it was held that the right of a person charged with crime to have the services of a lawyer is fundamental and essential to a fair trial. And very recently, in the last month itself, the court struck down the provisions of various prison manuals which discriminated against the prisoners on the basis of their caste. The work which was allotted to them was allotted on the basis of their caste, and this was clearly hitting at the very basic promise of equality as enshrined in our Constitution. The jurisprudence is a powerful testament to the court's commitment to uphold human rights within the penal system, ensuring that prisoners are not deprived of their basic rights, irrespective of their circumstances. In line with this jurisprudence, the legal services authorities serve as a crucial bridge between incarcerated individuals and the justice system, working to guarantee that even those who are confined retain their fundamental rights. These authorities play an instrumental role in providing free legal aid to the prisoners, ensuring that they have access to fair legal representations and are not left vulnerable to unjust treatment due to lack of resources or knowledge. However, a major hindrance to prisoners accessing their rights is their lack of awareness about the legal protections that are available to them. To address this, raising legal awarenesses within prison is crucial. In consultation with all the stakeholders, NALSA has been working towards strengthening the mechanisms to protect prisoners. I am happy to share that this year so far, legal services institutions have organized around 17,992 legal awareness and overreach programs in jails and observation homes. Out of them, 36 were held in Chandigarh, 1462 in Haryana, 193 in Himachal Pradesh, 95 in Jammu and Kashmir, and 1383 in Punjab. Recognizing the critical need for early intervention, NALSA's guidelines also place a strong emphasis on providing legal aid during the pre-trial stages. These guidelines provide a duty of the police to notify the suspect of his right to have legal assistance during interrogation. This is a crucial phase where timely legal assistance can significantly impact on individuals' access to justice, as it allows the informed decisions and better defense preparations at the very outset. From January 2024 to August 2024, pan-India, 24,173 persons were given legal assistance at the pre-arrest stage and in police stations. 23,079 persons were given legal assistance at the arrest stage, and 2,25,134 persons were given legal assistance at the remand stage. Our output in providing legal assistance at the pre-arrest, arrest, and remand stage remains critically low, with only a handful of states making notable efforts in this regard nationwide. Within this region, while states like Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir have made some commendable efforts, there is still a pressing need for greater actions. The other states, Haryana and Punjab and the Union Territory of Chandigarh, need to work more in this area, highlighting urgent and focused efforts. Strengthening legal aid at pre-arrest, arrest and remand stage is essential to ensure that individuals receive timely assistance before formal detention, preventing undue hardship and upholding justice at the very outset. Furthermore, it is imperative that we create a mechanism to monitor and document the status of all inmates in prisons. In this regard, Regulation 3 of the National Legal Services Authority's Regulation 2011 for the first time provided for the establishment of legal services clinics in jails. NALSA's standard operating procedure on access to legal aid services to prisoners and functioning of the prison's legal aid clinics 2022 also provides an effective mechanism to ensure that prisoners' rights are protected. Under this SOP, there are provisions for two types of inspection visits in the prisons. One shall be undertaken by the Secretary of the DLSA, and the other is to be done by the chairperson of the DLSA, that is the district and session judge. During these inspections, these authorities need to speak to prisoners about the legal aid provided and check the status report on all inmates made by the visiting lawyers. On my own, I have decided to visit as much as prisons as I can. In fact, I was scheduled to visit the Chandigarh prison yesterday, but since our flight could not take off from Amritsar at the right time, I could not do it. I will be making an effort because I am told that Chandigarh prison is a model prison and we certainly visiting it. Justice Surya has also talked about the prison in Simla, and he said that it's also one of the model prisons. In fact, I will be taking the cooperation of all my learned brothers in the Supreme Court. I will be requesting them to assist the NALSA in reaching the NALSA outreach to all the states, along with my esteemed brother Justice Surya, who would be taking over the NALSA from me, will work together and request all of our colleagues to be a part of our attempt to provide legal aid to the needy. Under the SOP, the legal aid clinics are run by pre-legal volunteers, also known as Adhikar Mitra. These legal aid clinics serve as a vital lifeline, offering prisoners access to legal resources, guidance and support in navigating their cases. At present, we have around 1,251 prison legal aid clinics and 1,386 prisoners who are deployed as PLVs in jails throughout the country. To maximize the effectiveness of these clinics, it is essential to focus on creating better infrastructure for them. This SOP on a prison legal aid clinic has now received judicial validation in the case of Sukanya Shanta versus Union of India. In the judgment, the court directed that, and I quote, the DLSS and the Board of Visitors formed under the Model Prison Manual 2016 shall jointly conduct regular inspections to identify with the caste-based discrimination or similar discriminatory practices as highlighted in the judgment are still taking place inside prisons, unquote. In the process of strengthening and making legal services more professional, NALSA has also adopted another legal aid delivery-based model, that is Legal Aid Defense Counsel system, for providing legal aid in criminal matters on the lines of public defender system in other countries on pilot basis for a specific period in some districts to see how effective and successful such changes in the approach will be. Legal aid defense counsel systems involve full-time engagement of lawyers with a support system. The legal aid defense counsels, also known as Nyaya Rakshaks, are deployed in all the DLSs across the country with 581 chief LADCs, 949 deputy chief LADCs and 1664 assistant LDSs. Various categories of cases, including bail cases, are assigned to LADCs from January 2024 to August 2024. 65,585 bail cases were assigned to LADCs, out of which 55,976 bail cases have been disposed of. Himachal Pradesh saw a commendable rate of resolution with over 96% of the cases addressed, ensuring timely legal resources for those awaiting trial. Although with Chandigarh there is a need to strengthen the framework of LADCs for prisoners, the other states, Punjab, Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir, have shown a great promise with their results. It is also crucial that when we discuss prisoners' rights, we must also reflect that the prisoners may have been the sole breadwinner of the family, which may now be facing economic hardships. In this regard, a preventive and strategic program was undertaken by the NALSA for the welfare of family members of jail inmates, titled A Campaign for Legal Assistance to the Family Members of the Prisoners. The features of this program included formal interaction with jail inmates and family members, follow-up action on the concerns raised in the said interactions irrespective of the location of the inmate and family, and assistance in availing benefits under the government schemes. The campaign's target group included convicts with remaining imprisonment for 6 months or more, and under trials having continuous detention for more than 1 year. To share a success story from the campaign, in Chhattisgarh, one of the DLSs deputed 2 PLVs to assist a pregnant woman whose husband was in a prison and who was deserted by her in-laws. The PLVs took help from the local government in getting the woman admitted to the government hospital, where she received adequate medical care and delivered a child. Furthermore, in a suo motu public interest litigation in 2023, the Delhi High Court noted that there are already many relevant schemes for the welfare of family members of prisoners, which are currently in operation, but there is a need to increase awareness of such schemes. The High Court assigned responsibility to NALSA to organize campaigns akin to a campaign for legal assistance to the family members of the prisoners, but with a broadened scope aiming to reach the maximum number of prisoners and under trials and their families. To emphasize again, the responsibilities of legal services authorities extend beyond the immediate needs of the prisoners themselves. They must also consider the well-being of prisoners' families, especially their children. The children of the incarcerated parents are often among the most overlooked victims, facing emotional, social and economic challenges due to the absence of parents. Legal services authorities therefore have a critical role in advocating for and coordinating support system that addresses the unique needs of these families. This involves collaboration with social welfare departments, NGOs, the child welfare committees and other support networks to provide counseling, financial assistance and educational resources for the children affected by parental incarceration. Additionally, legal service authorities can facilitate opportunities for family visits and accommodation and communications, recognizing that maintaining these bonds can be essential for the mental well-being of both the prisoners and their families. For parents behind bars, knowing that their children are cared for can also be a powerful incentive for rehabilitation and eventual reintegration into the society. Furthermore, borrowing from the philosophy of juvenile justice, when we provide love and support to the child in need of care and protection, we prevent them from becoming children in conflict with law. Recently, the Supreme Court has issued a series of directions to enhance the working of legal aid mechanisms. In Suhas Chakma versus Union of India, where I was also a part of the bench, amongst a diverse set of directions, the court held that legal services authorities at different levels shall adopt methods to strengthening the monitoring of prison legal aid clinics and to review their functioning periodically. The Supreme Court also directed that the legal services authorities shall periodically review and update the SOPs of 2022 for the Under Trial Review Committee. The huge gap between total number of persons inflicted by the UTRCs and the number of persons identified by them and recommended for release should be looked into and adequate corrective measures be taken. Similarly, the difference between the number of prisoners, inmates recommended for release and the number of bail applications filed should also be diligently monitored by NALSAs, SALSAs and DLSs, and adequate corrective measures should be taken. On 8th of April 2024, NALSA had released a framework and schedule for a quarterly meeting of UTRCs across all districts of the country in the year 2024. To prevent long period of incarceration during pendency of the trial and to increase awareness among lawyers about the 14 categories of prisoners eligible for review, timely filing of bail applications, recourse to appellate remedy where bail applications are rejected. In a recent judgment, I had held that a long incarceration without trial should not be converted into a punishment without a trial. In the UTRC quarterly meetings held in April and July 2024, over 44,000 prisoners were identified for review, leading to the recommendation of over 29,500 prisoners, which resulted in the release of about 14,700 prisoners. For the UTRC quarterly meeting of October 2024, as per the time frame, consideration of the data is in process and will be released by 29th of November 2024. This year, NALSA also launched a pan-India campaign called Restoring the Youth for identifying juveniles in prisons and rendering legal assistance to them. In recent years, several unfortunate cases have come to light where children have been found languishing in adult prisons without any judicial determination on their plea for juvenility. They remain confined in the dark alleys of adult jails. Recognizing its institutional responsibility, NALSA has instructed all legal services institutions to undertake a campaign to identify such prisoners, more applications for age determination and bail on their behalf, thereby ensuring that they are no longer incarcerated in prisons. So far, 5,184 persons in prisons were prima facie identified as juveniles. 3877 applications were filed by the legal services institutions for age determination of such probable juveniles. 801 such applications remained pending, while 1,451 such applications were allowed and 1,622 applications were dismissed. 782 persons who were determined to be juveniles at the time of commission of the offence were transferred either to child care institutions or place of safety. And 993 such juveniles identified were released on bail. Seeing the result of this initiative, all legal services institutions have been requested to continue with the same and identify probable juveniles in prisons and provide them necessary legal assistance. Our progress thus far sets a foundation, but we must redouble our efforts, especially at this stage, for the benefit of these juveniles. Legal services institutions also play a pivotal role in fostering rehabilitation and reintegration of prisoners in society. In Sundar versus State, the Supreme Court directed NALSA to prepare guidelines on premature release. Consequently, NALSA developed the SOP on the process of preventive release, parole and furlough of prisoners 2022, aimed at providing legal assistance, ensuring operationalization and coordination of efforts to improve the process of premature release, parole and furlough. The premature release of the convicted prisoners is based on the principle of reformation, rehabilitation and reintegration of the prisoners back into the society on the basis of their conduct in prisons. I was happy to note when Justice Surya told me that in the Simla prison, the prisoners not only undertake the manufacture of clothes, but they stitch the white shirts and black pants which are purchased by the lawyers. He also informed me about the prisoners doing a catering service wherein a catering is provided by the prisoners to the outside citizens. I think this steps like this for their reformation will go in a long way. When I was chairman of the Infrastructure Committee of the Bombay High Court, I directed that all furniture in the courts would be purchased only from the prisons. Because we have very good artisans in all the prisons and their furniture is not only good but is also very strong and long lasting. The SALSAs also make effort to implement a range of reformative and rehabilitative programs aimed at enhancing the educational and vocational skills of prisoners. From January 2024 to April 2024, 1,557 prisoners were found eligible for premature release, out of which 892 prisoners were assisted and 440 prisoners were released across the country. It is only with continuous efforts that we can change the scenarios in prisons. I believe that there is a need to strengthen our roots. The legal service authorities at the district and taluka levels need to have robust and effective mechanisms to provide comprehensive legal aid to all those in need. We need to ensure that the regulation and guidelines that are already in effect need to be complied, while also developing new mechanisms to protect the rights of the marginalized. Before I conclude, I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Justice, the chairmen of the Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh UT State Legal Services Authorities for giving me an opportunity to be with you this morning, for hosting this wonderful event, for releasing the video clips, because we have seen that the drug abuse, there was a movie Udta Punjab, is not only a menace in Punjab but is now growing everywhere in the country. the number of NDPS cases are on a high rise. So, preparing the video clips and enlightening the youth about the drug abuse, its disadvantages and the losses it might cause to them would go a long way. I am also happy to inaugurate the another video clip which shows about the significant contribution of all the three legal authorities, Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. The booklet on victim care and support system would also go a long way in enlightening the victims about the rights available to them. I am sure that all other state legal services authorities would also follow the good steps taken by Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh legal service authorities. Before I conclude, I would only like to quote what Dr. Ambedkar had said on 25th of November 1949 in the Constituent Assembly. In one of the judgments which I delivered recently, the 7 judges, I begin my judgment with quote, "The matter was so ably argued and opened by your esteemed Advocate General." And I quote Dr. Ambedkar that on 26th of January, we will be entering an era of contradictions. We have assured justice, political, economic and social to our citizens. By ensuring one person, one vote and one value, we have attempted to achieve a political equality. But what about social and economic equality? On an economic plane, we have the entire wealth of the country concentrated in few hands and the vast majority even finding it difficult to meet 2 ends of just a day. On a social plane, we have a society compartmentalized into 4 compartments wherein you cannot travel from one compartment to other compartment. And he warned that unless and until we do not make an attempt to eradicate these inequalities, the edifice of democracy which the Constitution has so laboriously built will collapse like a house of cards. And therefore, no doubt that in the last 75 years, the executive, the legislature and the judiciary have marched towards attainment of the social and political justice. I have extensively referred to the Constituent Assembly judgments in that judgment which I delivered. And therefore, every step by all of us, by NALSA, by the state legal service authorities, by DLSs, by Taluka legal service authorities, should be aimed at achieving the social and economic justice which the framers of our Constitution have envisaged. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lordship, for your words of wisdom. Punjab and Haryana High Court is honoured by the presence of esteemed dignitaries today. As a symbol of gratitude, I humbly request Honourable Mr. Justice Sheel Nagu, Chief Justice, Punjab and Haryana High Court and Patron-in-Chief, State Legal Services Authorities, Punjab, Haryana and UT Chandigarh, to present a memento to Honourable Mr. Justice Bhushan Ram Krishna Gavai, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority. Thank you, Lordship. I now request Honorable Mr. Justice Gurmeet Singh Sandhavalia, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court and Executive Chairman, Punjab Legal Services Authority, to present a memento to Honorable Mr. Justice Surya, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Chairman, Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. Thank you, Lordship. I request Honorable Mr. Justice Anupinder Garewal, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court, to present a memento to Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Bindal, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Thank you, Lordship. I request Honorable Mrs. Justice Alka Sareen, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court, to present a memento to Honorable Mr. Justice Augustine George Massey, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Thank you, Lordship. I request Honorable Mr. Justice Anil Kshetrapal, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court, to present a memento to Honorable Mr. Justice Tashi Rabistan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and Patron-in-Chief, Jammu and Kashmir Legal Services Authority. Thank you, Lordship. I now request Honorable Mr. Justice Mahabir Singh Sindhu, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court, to present a memento to Honorable Mr. Justice Trilok Singh Chauhan, Acting Chief Justice, High Court of Himachal Pradesh and Executive Chairman, Himachal Pradesh State Legal Services Authority. Thank you, Lordship. As we come close to culmination of this conference, I invite Honorable Mr. Justice Gurmeet Singh Sandhavalia, Judge, Punjab and Haryana High Court and Executive Chairman, Punjab Legal Services Authority. His Lordship's approach has been marked by strong commitment to justice, fairness and the rule of law. Under his leadership, the Punjab Legal Services Authority has ensured that legal services are a fundamental right available to every citizen. I humbly request His Lordship to extend the vote of thanks, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. As the Executive Chairman of the Punjab State Legal Service Authorities, I am honoured to address this august gathering and to share the strides we have made through our journey to provide accessible justice to the marginalized and stepping towards our aim of achieving social justice. I express my heartfelt gratitude to Justice B.R. Gawai, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Service Authorities, for graciously spending and time with us and sparing the time and giving us the honor to host the first conference under his leadership. His valuable insights and experiences shared today will serve as a beacon for legal services institutions in strengthening the concept of legal aid delivery mechanism at grassroots levels. His encouragement and guidance on the rights of prisoners while referring to the relevant case laws will inspire us to pursue our shared vision of ensuring access to justice for the marginalized sections of society, especially as pointed out even at the pre-arrest stage. I also wish to extend my sincere thanks to Justice Surya, Chairman of the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, for getting us an opportunity to interact with the Executive Chairman of NALSA, Honorable Justice Rajesh Bindal and Justice A.G. Massey, who are very dear to this court, for guiding us in every step in our endeavours to accomplish our mission. And as said by Justice Gawai, that all the judges shall be involved in our jail visits, and which we all look forward to. My gratitude also goes to our Chief Justice, Justice Shri Nagu, for giving us unwavering support, for the able inputs given by the members of the organizing committee, Justice Arun Palli, Justice Lisa Gill, Justice Alka Sareen, for shaping the conference into a reality. The valuable support by the President of the the governing body of the Judicial Academy and the members of the Academy and the academic faculty who have all worked tirelessly. To distinguished speakers here, the Chief Justice Tashir Abstan, the Acting Chief Justice, Justice Tarlok Singh Chauhan, and their colleagues from both the High Courts. I offer my deepest appreciation. I am confident that the insights that you have shared today will have lasting impact on the way you are approaching legal services in your states. As we embark on the journey, I want to take a moment to express my deepest thanks to each of you for joining us, for contributing your time and energy, enthusiasm. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the dignitaries who have joined us today for the significant occasion from both the states and UT Chandigarh. To all the members of the State Legal Service Authorities, officers of the District Judiciary, closely associated with handling the child in conflict with law, and other officials connected with legal services, this conference stands as a testament to our commitment for improving access to legal services. I am certain that the knowledge gathered here will strengthen our collective efforts in furthering these goals. As we move forward, let us remain committed to the ideals of justice, equality, and fairness. Together we can build a responsive and inclusive and accessible legal system that ensures that no one is deprived of their rightful access to justice. As Justice Surya has said, that the pursuit of justice is a never-ending, continuous process which we will continue to strive, especially for children in need who have no control over their lives. The responsibility of the state has also been duly highlighted. We are sure that both the states and the UT shall rise to the occasion. In the end, I want to quote a few lines which has been an inspiration, as Justice Gavai has said, and I think we should make all endeavors to follow the same. The quote is from John Wesley. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. Once again, I express my gratitude to everyone involved in making this event a success. I look forward to a continued collaboration as we strive to make legal services more effective, efficient, and accessible to every citizen. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Lordship. I now request everyone to please rise for the national anthem. I request all the dignitaries to commemorate this journey by tree plantation and thereafter a group photograph. All the honorable judges are requested to proceed for a group photograph on the steps at the entrance of the door to your right. All other esteemed guests are requested to kindly proceed for lunch, which has been arranged on the lawns of the Academy on your left. Legal Aid Defense Counsel, panel advocates, law students, and paralegal volunteers are requested to proceed for lunch, arranged in the Convention Hall of the Academy. Once again, thank you everyone.